see it.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining in today. I'm Fatima.
I'm John.
I am Cyrene.
So today we're coming to you about eye health. A lot of times when you think of eye health, you think of glasses, you think of cataracts, you think of surgeries, but it's more than that. You know, like everyone, whether you're wearing glasses or not, your eyes are probably one of the most important senses that you have. Your sight is one of your most important senses that you have. So now, without your eyes and without having good eyes, it's really hard to see the world as it is with the colors, the beautiful, scenery and whatnot. And so it's not something that we should take for granted or take lightly. Like I don't wear glasses myself, but I know that John, Cyrene, and Fred, they all do wear glasses. So how is that for you guys?
That's a good question, Fatima. I wear like when I wear my glasses around the house, and as I got older, I noticed how my eyes weakened, and so over the years, I started off like having ones and twos, and then when I went to the eye doctor, I ended up having stronger prescription. And my contacts are great because it keeps it consistent, and it makes a huge difference for me reading books or reading my messages on the phone.
When did you start wearing glasses, or when did you start needing them?
In my 40s.
40s?
Yeah.
I got hit when I needed them when I was 13.
Oh, wow.
And it wasn't even me. It was kind of weird. I was sitting at the front of it was chemistry class in high school, grade 8. And they were benches. Do you guys remember? They're big long benches that stretch from one side of the room to the other. And so they have like the taps and the Bunsen burner taps and stuff like that for the gas. Well, I was sitting there and I was at the front of the class, and my teacher calls my parents. My chemistry teacher called my parents and goes, "I don't think John's doing too well." And my parents go, "Why?" Because he's sitting in the front of the class where he should see the board, but he's like this. And I didn't notice that because you just it's your reflexes just trying to squint to see. And then so my parents go, "Are you doing okay? Like, are you seeing the board?" I go, "I think I am. Like, I'm fine." And so they took me to my eye test, and I found out that I was nearsighted. So you name what you can see. So I can see close, but I can't see far. So I'm nearsighted. Don't need glasses when I read, but I couldn't see anything past 10 feet. So I couldn't see the chalkboard. And so that's why they knew, because my grades were going down because I couldn't see the equations. And so I've been wearing glasses since then. And now they kind of stabilize. It's kind of weird. You know how you hear like your vision starts to drop, like they get worse over time. So my power to see further needed to be increased, but now it's kind of come back up. So they say your eyes kind of change shapes over when you get older, like when you go through life, your eyeball changes shape. I guess that's it. It's been stabilizing for probably the last 7-8 years, maybe more, 10 years. Yeah. So I just wear contacts. I have contacts on right now.
Interesting. So like, I mean, I can't say I haven't had glasses because when was it? I think it was like first year. I actually had glasses for a very short period of time because I had astigmatism. And because I was actually wearing them regularly, it corrected itself. So now I don't wear the glasses. So I had glasses for a very short period of time, like maybe a year or whatever, or less than, just to correct that stigmatism that I've had. But my sister, on the other hand, from the age of like, since she was grade 3, so she was 8 years old, she's had glasses, and her number just gets higher and higher. She's blind as a bat.
Her glasses like are really thick.
Well, I mean, they're not thick, but they should be. But because of technology and everything, that they're able to refine it and have them stylish. So, but their number is very, very, very thick, right? So you got to be careful. Like, one thing that I actually do, I was actually having a conversation earlier today, and the sight, that would be the scariest thing to lose, is your sight. And the conversation came up that, you know, as curious as I am, I don't want to be losing that. And one way to find out is how would you maneuver yourself around a building or a room or, you know, whatever. Is I often do this with my students. It's actually one of my favorite lessons. I blindfold the kids. And it gives them a sense of appreciation for what they actually truly have. That's one way for you to discover how important or how valuable our eyes are, because a lot of times we take them for granted, right? And so eyes are very, very important. So what do you guys do to make sure that your eyes are staying healthy, they're staying active, you're not, you know, like you're providing them enough nutrients? What are you guys doing?
I actually take, when I'm on the computer, I take breaks. And the other thing is I don't wear my contacts all day because of that. I don't want my eyes to adjust to that that prescription. So that's why I switch off to my glasses, or wear my glasses off and on. And I feel that if I wore my strong prescription, my eyes would get used to that, and I don't want that. So I'm training my eyes like not to get used to that. And I just think it's really important to take those breaks in between when you're reading or when you're on the computer, or adjust the lights. I like soft lighting. I don't like harsh lighting. It affects my eyes. I'm very sensitive like you guys. I don't like really, really bright lights. It just makes me squint too.
Then you get the frown lines, right? When you squint,
Yeah,
with those age lines.
That's right.
No, going
well,
back.
I mean, it doesn't look like any of us have the frown lines right now, so I think we're good.
We're okay.
We're good. We're good.
Or the, what do you call it? The crow's feet, right?
Yeah.
For me, sunglasses. Like that was the biggest thing that helped my eyes stay. I guess maybe that's what's protected them, because I know that if I didn't wear them for so long, that my eyes would have deteriorated more. But going back to what Cyrene said, is I've asked my kids to try to implement this throughout the day, because they're on the computer quite a bit. You know, you can't help kids being on their phones, in front of the TV or on the computer, just watching things or learning. Even if they're learning, they're still in front of a screen. But doing that 20-20 rule, 20-20-20 rule. So what you do is every 20 minutes, you take every 20 minutes, you take a break for 20 seconds. And what you do is you focus on something near and far for 20 feet. So make your eyes adjust from something close to something far. So it flexes that muscle, so that you're not always concentrating on something that is 2 feet in front of you, like your screen or your phone, but you're focusing on something far.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of makes that, it's kind of like a telescope, you know, you adjust the lens to far and close. It's doing that, and it exercises your eyes. So, you know, setting a timer for them on their computer, like 20 minutes of beeps, and then they'll just kind of look away and just kind of do some eye exercises. That's something that's easy to do as well. Eye rotations and up, down, zigzags with your eyes. I guess that's something that I learned from my eye doctor.
That's actually really cool, because, you know, that is a good way to take a break for your eyes, but also mentally it's a great way to take a break.
Yeah. But it's also easy to remember, because
it is
20/20 vision, just 20/20 the rule. 20/20 rule is to do those breaks.
So then, do your kids have glasses?
Yes. So like so it was Fatima that said he has astigmatism. Astigmatism. My son had it. So he had one eye that was, I guess, I don't know what astigmatism is, shaped like a football versus more round. I guess that's what it's called. So one eye was more round and the other one was more cone, like football shape. So he had to even it out. So he had to wear an eye patch for about 6 months, maybe 8 months. So he wore an eye patch on the eye that was good, and the eye that wasn't good made it work more, like made it work harder, or maybe it was reverse. So he had to cover one eye to get the other one to catch up. And if it didn't work, then of course he would get glasses right away. So because he was still young and his eyes were still growing and getting to its shape and, you know, basically developing to where it was going to be, the doctors gave him that I guess the year or whatnot to reshape. And so when you do that, it's kind of like, you know, when you have one leg that's kind of hurting, you favor the other leg.
Yeah.
So the other leg becomes stronger because it's taking more of the weight off. Like if you're on one crutch, the other leg will eventually get stronger. So imagine doing that for a year. So that's what the doctor advised them to do, was to cover one eye and do that. So it ended up evening out, so it did work. So, but he still needs glasses, but at least they're even. Like,
Yeah.
not one lens is different than the other, which is hard because I had different lenses for my contacts before, and once they come out of the package, you can't tell which is which, right?
That's true.
You mix them up like Cyrene. It's like, oh no.
I know.
And you'll know when you mix up your contacts is
Because you can't see.
No, you get a massive headache.
Exactly. I get a massive headache.
Massive headache.
Yeah, see that. I mean, I can relate to the headaches, but I can't relate to contacts or any of that stuff. I have no idea what that. I mean,
Keep doing what you're doing, Fatima, because I know glasses and contacts is kind of cool and it's stylish, but for me, I would rather not wear anything.
No.
Because it's very, very it's a hassle. Contact glasses is a hassle. But if it was for me, I'd rather not wear any of it. So take care. Whatever you're doing, Fatima, just keep doing it because you want to prolong it. Like if you can prolong it.
So like, I mean, one of the things I do is like when I do go out in the sun, I do have sunglasses on. But even when it's like overcast, I actually do wear sunglasses because I find that is actually a lot more painful on my eyes than the sun, like when it's really sunny.
It's pretty great when it's cloudy sometimes because
it's very like very powerful, the UV. And then also, so my great grandma, she lived to be 105. Wow. She didn't have glasses until she was like the last maybe like 4 years of her life. And she had carrots every day. She was like, you have to have your carrots because the carrots are good for your eyes. You always have to have your carrots. Make sure you have your carrots.
Yeah. So nutrition definitely, they say, plays a part of it, right? So
it definitely does. So like there's a few nutritions or vitamins that we do need, right? That we can find in our foods. I know, Cyrene, you were mentioning them earlier.
Yes, like vitamin C, zinc, and two other ones, John, that you were...
lutein, and beta carotenes. So
you get from your carrots.
That's the easiest thing to beta carotenes. So think of carrots. I don't know if that's in it. No, beta carotenes, carrots. And things like peppers. I think like kale. Like just there's some foods that have natural vitamins in it, anyways. That's going to help support your eye health. So just eat regularly as much as you can on those. But also, again, other than the food that you're eating, you still have to take care of it on the outside, right? So wearing the sunglasses, making sure, again, you're not too close. I think it's been drilled into me so many, like even today when I see my dad, he's like, don't read too close or don't read in the dark because it makes your eyes work harder, right? So it's kind of like you're working yourself out in the gym, but you're not in a gym. So you're still stressing your muscle, but your eyes can be better further away, or just turn on some light so that you're not making your eyes strain more to see in the dark or to, when you're reading like super close. I know the phones are hard these days,
Oh yeah.
And I've been telling my kids, it's okay to adjust the font size, like the text size on the phones or the tablets, like just bump them up a little bit so that, you may have to scroll or use the scroll bar or the bar a little bit more because you've now expanded the page. But that's better than, but it's better than trying to read something that's like minute. And you're gonna
but remember, John, they're younger, so they're gonna be like, we don't want to look like we're all really old and whatever. And
but I told her
they don't see it, right? Because they're young and they're invincible. Nothing will happen to them, right?
But
it's only when you're older.
I didn't tell you, but my son's wearing glasses, but my daughter wears glasses too.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, so they both do, and luckily both of them have the blue glass.
Okay.
So not like they got them the blue light filter on their glasses, so they wear those when they're in front of the computer for more than 20 minutes, and so they basically wear the glasses quite a number of hours throughout the day. But still, it doesn't mean it's not damaging their eyes. Like they're still draining their eyes to watch a screen for 6 hours a day because they're again, because of them doing school from home now, they're in front of the computer a lot more, right? And so getting them to change that view, like the landscape, is just take a break and look at some other things.
Well, another thing that you can do in terms of like your computer is there is a separate filter that you can put on top of it. It's a separate film, and so that basically it takes out a lot of the blue light that you're getting from your computer. It reduces that. You can also dim out your lights. That's one thing that I do at night is I have it on night mode, so it's not blue light. So if you've got blue light, that's going to actually keep your eyes awake and working. So you want to have like the more natural cool lights, the warm lights as opposed to the cool lights.
Yeah, we have that. So on your phone, yeah. So I mean, you can set that setting for night mode, I think it's called.
Oh, okay.
And it turns the screens on your computer screens as well as your cell phones. I think like Apple, like the iPads, I have have that as well. But I think it's called night mode. I think on my Android phone it's just called blue light filter. It's actually called blue light. So you turn it on and automatically it'll be like a timer. I have mine turned on at 7:30, 7:45 at night. Every day it turns on, then it turns off at like 8 o'clock in the morning. And so what it does, it turns the whole screen more like an amber, like a yellowy orange color, and it's less straining on your eyes, so especially when you're in bed late looking at the phone.
Right.
It's a little bit more
To
easier.
keep in the bed, right?
Well, we're not supposed to, right? But we all do.
Yeah, I know. Like, I mean, if you refer back to our series that we did, the healthy home, if you refer back to like the bedroom, you're going to get a lot of tips in there as well as to what you can do with your electronics. But yeah, you definitely don't want to have your electronics in your room because that doesn't help with your sleep. And another thing, like, so if your eyes are hurting, we had mentioned this earlier, like, I mean, you guys get with your contacts, if your contacts are put in the wrong way, if you've got different sites and you're putting in different contacts, you're going to get headaches. But also if you're straining so much, you're going to get headaches, right? And so you got to monitor that to make sure that you've got enough nutrients, enough water, and you're not straining it, and you don't have that light. So eyes are so important, but it's also very scary. Like 10 years ago, my dad, he woke up with like a really bad headache. He's like, I've never had this headache before. And then he couldn't see all of a sudden. Like he just could not see because there was so much pressure in his eyes that it busted. So he actually had a stroke in his eye. And so his doctor was saying that there was like a blood vessel that had popped. And so the blood clot went into his eye instead of his brain. So he was very lucky in that sense. And because we caught it right away, we were able to reverse that. So now he is able to see, but he has to actually go get a shot in his eye every 3 weeks in order to maintain his blood pressure in his eye and that he can actually see. So it's scary. Like I took him to one of his appointments. Obviously, like when you have this done, they dilate your eye, they freeze it because there's no way you can let anyone come near your eye. Like your first reaction is close your eyes. So they have to freeze it in order to work on it. I couldn't look at it. I was like, I'm not taking you here. This is really painful. And like it's scary. Like a blink of the eye, something can change.
My parents are both diabetic, right? And so that we know when we covered the nutritional topic on high glycemic and low glycemic, well, they became diabetic, which also one of the side effects of that is they're losing their eyesight. So my dad and my mom at different times ended up having cataract surgery so they can see better because they have this film that glazes over. So again, it's all about nutrition and it's all about having a healthy lifestyle, right?
You know what? Cyrene touched on a good thing is that go see your eye doctor regularly.
Yes.
I know people that like I don't like things coming in my eyes. Like even when they do that, they take that little pointer to touch your eyeball to see the pressure. I don't like that. Yeah. But think of it as, well, people don't like going to the eye doctors just as much as people don't like going to the dentist, right? But you should be going every year or every 2 years, whatever it needs to just kind of monitor your eyes because your eyes do change, right? We all talked about our eyes change throughout our lives. That if something is changing, you want it to change for good, but what if it's changing to the negative? So the doctor can have that record of, is that spot there for a reason? Or like, because they see in the back of your eye, they see like different parts of the eyeball to be able to kind of to gauge it. So next year, if something looks off, they can do some more tests. If it looks the same, then at least you're okay, right? And also, your glasses power change as well, right? You're not Once you get glasses, doesn't mean you're going to keep that same strength forever.
Yeah.
And if you are changing and you're not changing, your eyes are changing, but you're not changing the power, that's when you start to get the headaches as well. And people don't
Mhm.
realize that, your glasses change like by point 0.5 or negative point 0.5. That has a big difference of your eyes working harder to now adjust for that difference, which gives you the headaches, right? So eye exams is something that we don't mess around with in our family. Now especially with the kids that have our kids wear glasses as well.
And I just wanted to touch on one more thing. As women, we're really bad. Like we actually put makeup on and we put mascara on. If you don't wash it off properly, you can get an infection in your
Well,
eyes.
yeah, the chemicals are going in, right?
Exactly. And also when you're actually like, oh, my eyes are watery, or we don't even think about it. We're not even mindful about it. You have to make sure you wash your hands all the time. And then when you rub it, then you're actually not getting chemicals off your hands or bacteria into your eyes. And I have a confession. What, 2 months ago I had an eye infection. I think it was because I didn't wash off my um, mascara properly. So I had to learn the hard way.
Well, I mean, speaking of that, like when I was in grade 12, I was actually going in, it was exam time. I remember this, and all of a sudden my eye just started hurting. And I had a sigh that it was like super itchy, super annoying. And when I come to think about it, I had actually shared um, liner with my sister. Like, I mean, how stupid is that, right? After that, I will never ever, like, yeah, she's my sister. We have the same DNA and whatever, but I don't know what she's got because she wears a lot more makeup than I do, right? And so I will never ever share a liner. We'll switch lips, like, we'll share our lipsticks and whatever, but when it comes to the eye, I will not. Like, and then after that, I had a cousin who came over. She forgot her liner. She started blurring it. I'm like, keep it. I don't want it. Just keep it. I really don't want it. That's the one thing I will not let anyone touch, whether it's like liner or mascara. Although I don't wear too much makeup anyways. That
You guys all heard about the story I must have told many times about Nancy's eyelids.
I think I've heard it. Yeah, but go ahead.
Yes, why don't
So
you share it with us?
you haven't heard that one? So many years ago, probably over 15 years ago, Nancy developed both her eyelids. Like if you were to close your eyelids, just the eyelids themselves turned really, really red, almost like as red as this chair. And it was red because it was I guess it was an infection or something, but we couldn't figure out what it was because it first started getting red and then it started getting itchy because the skin would start flaking off only on the top of her eyelid. So she'd always be doing this all the time. And like Cyrene just said, you're not washing your hands when you're scratching your face or touching your face. So that probably contributed to it. But she started getting like some major rash on her eyelids and went to the eye doctor, and we found out that she had a reaction to the makeup. And so, over the years of wearing her makeup and all the other stuff, finally her body said that's enough and just kind of reacted. And then so she switched. She thought maybe it was that line, like maybe it's just one certain line that my body is finally getting used to and just can't take anymore. So she switched different brands, and it didn't go away. She kept switching. So eventually she used like four different, you know, department store brand makeups, um, and it still wouldn't go away. So the realization part was when we went to the specialist, the ophthalmologist, and he said that you can't wear contacts anymore
Wow.
because the eyelids, there's an underside to it, right? It's really thin. Your eyelids really thin. There's a backside to it that is actually now touching your eyes, and that started getting infected. So it permeated from the top of here to the inside of the eyelid. So if you flip your eyelid over, it was getting some remnants there, and she couldn't wear contacts. Even today, she can't wear contacts for more than she can't wear it every day, and if she wears it for one day, she can't wear it for more than 8 hours. So that's why if you guys ever ask why does Nancy wear glasses, it's all because it came back from that 15, 16 years ago. And so it's because of whatever it may be. It could be the chemicals that are in there, the preservatives, whatever it may be. Even those natural makeup, you're putting something on your eye that shouldn't be on there. For guys, we don't have that much of an issue, but I feel for women who use these products that just be really really careful because besides touching our eyes every day, like now you have all this stuff on there that can be going in as well, right?
Mhm.
And so it hasn't come back since she's gotten rid of it. And she basically stopped wearing um, like a lot of eye makeup. But the thing that turned the conversation around with the doctor was when he started asking her to use steroids on her eyes,
Wow.
and these were like on the outside. And so this is with her not wearing makeup, being in an office, being a business lady, no makeup is a big deal, right? So her self-confidence wasn't there. Her eyes are blood red, like her eyelids, so she couldn't wear makeup. It was flaking, right? Her eyes are swollen. Her eyes are always be like this.
That's a,
So, it's a big thing, right? And so she really wanted to get solved. And then when we started getting, you need to use steroid cream, but like on her eyes, like that is not good.
That's scary.
That's
That's
scary.
very
Like
scary.
on her eyelid, but again, it's going to permeate transdermal. It's going to go into the eyeballs, and then it wasn't working, so they prescribed to a stronger one. So they kept upping the dose. We're like, forget it, like that's enough.
wow. What's the
So
side effects
she
on that?
ended up just changing her diet. She went to different things, and she kicked it. Like she got rid of it, but she had it for 1 whole year.
Ooh.
Like we're not talking about a month. She suffered with this for 1 whole year.
So, I mean, it's interesting that that's kind of scary that she went through that. But at the same time, it's a great learning curve because it goes to show you how important your nutrition is. And yes, you need to see your doctor no matter whatever is happening, but your nutrition is the key to everything. That has a lot of the multivitamins, the minerals. It has what we need in it to actually help our body, right? Our bodies are not built so that you have all these chemicals inside of them. We need like the natural foods,
Mhm.
right? And so there was actually this I saw this picture. It kind of scared the living crap out of me, and that's probably why I don't wear too much eye makeup either. But at the same time, before I even go into that, so John sort of mentioned something that, like when you're touching your eyes, your hands are not clean, right? But at the same time, your eyes are the fastest way to cause an infection and the fastest way into your system. So your eyes, your nose, and your mouth, those are the fastest ways to incur any infection.
Mhm.
And so this picture that I saw, it was of this lady. She had been wearing mascara and liner, and she just wouldn't wash it off properly at night. At the end of like after 6 months or so, she had little bugs in her eyelashes.
That's scary.
And,
Like living.
and like little white bugs that were just like, attached to her eyes, and they were literally creating an extra layer and they were going into her eye. So there's now more damage being done into the eye. It was scratching her eyelid. It's kind of gross.
Mhm.
After seeing that, I was like, yeah, I definitely don't want to be wearing, too much makeup. So yeah, that scared me. That just grossed me out as well.
I
Have you?
to Fatima.
Sorry.
I just want to add something to your comment, Fatima, that it's so important for women to check the expiry date.
Oh
Just
yeah.
because you aren't wearing something and all of a sudden you're looking for a black eyeliner, check to see if it's still valid, Throw it away. Get a new one, right? You have to change it every 6 months or so, not a year.
Yeah, and for even for guys, I mean, like whether you wear makeup or not, for guys, I mean, some guys are into the skincare now, right? They're using a lot of things to upkeep themselves, and just be careful because a lot of these products aren't meant to be around the eyes or get near the eyes because they're very they irritate your eyes. So imagine if you're doing that on a day in and day out basis, like morning and night, that's gonna irritate your eyes as well and probably cause some problems down the road. So just be careful, when you're using things that says there's a reason they say please be cautious around the eye area. There's a reason for it. So you're not just like slathering it and then just kind of doing that. But how many? So Sari mentioned your parents had cataract surgery. So my dad has. Has any your parents, Fatima?
My mom hasn't had cataract. Actually, my mom hasn't had any surgeries, but my dad has had his stroke. My grandma's had cataract. My aunt has had cataract. Um, my uncle has cataract.
Yeah. And
So,
that's the scary thing is that, I don't want anything going wrong with my eyes so that they have to go in with a knife or needle. Like that scares me.
but yeah,
That's why I haven't done laser surgery is because I always think, what if it gets worse? Like what if there's a mistake, right? Then like my eyes aren't too bad. I can live with the contacts and the glasses. But what if there's that chance, right? Then you lose. What if it's worse? Or if you lose your sight. So I always think, I have it. I might as well just not touch it. But my dad had cataracts. He had one done and then he had the other one. He loves it because, like what Cyrene says, they get that it turns yellowy, kind of turns like
Over, which
you're
is
trying to look through wax paper. It starts to look like that, and it was only
they
affect
get floaters.
yeah, like it's some
well,
murkiness, like a murkiness, right? And
Yeah,
my dad got it done, and he was amazed. And I was against it. I told him just to, like, you're okay. You don't really need to do it, but it was just starting, and he probably needed like 10 years down the road. I said, let's just wait till then. But he goes, no, I want to do it. So then when he got this eye done, it was like a fighter pilot, like it was focused as you can get because it's brand new, right? It's like getting a brand new windshield on your car. You can see everything; it's clear. So he wanted this one done because now he's getting a headache because this one's super clear, but this one's like only
yeah,
80%. So it's kind of like a little bit foggy. Especially now you can see the difference. Like you have something to compare it with. So right away, like 6 months later, after he waited for a while, he got the other one done. Now he's got like he can see 15 miles down the road, but he still needs reading glasses, right? That's the thing. It doesn't
yeah,
mean your vision is perfect near and far. It's usually just one or the other.
yeah. And so, John, you were mentioning, like the blurriness and everything. So that's the lutein that you need. Like, the lutein helps with that yellow, filmy, blurriness. And that's why, that was one of the minerals that you had mentioned that is important, and that's what it does.
So carrots, beta carotene.
Beta carotene. Carrots go a long way. Just make sure you don't eat up too much so you
They
turn
make you
like
turn
a
orange.
carrot. Yeah, exactly.
You look like me right now, and it's like you get a nice orange tan.
You
Actually,
mean the fake tan?
yeah, my like the Trump tan. No,
Yeah.
my son when he was a baby, he used to eat like when he was eating solid food. He used to eat carrot sticks, like lots of raw carrots. We get him those baby carrots or like the organic carrots, and we cut them into little matchsticks. He would eat them like anything, and he had an orange nose.
Uh,
Yeah, like in pictures, if we go back, the only thing on his whole face was orange was his nose because he ate so much carrots that his nose stayed orange.
so it's true. You eat what you are. You become what you eat.
His nose didn't grow like a carrot. But my daughter would bug him like, "Oh, Ryan's orange again." Ryan's like, "I don't know what's happening." And my son's like, "I don't know what he's talking about." But
How old was he? He was
like 1.5 to like 2,
oh,
like 2.5, like that period where he's
yeah.
eating anything. He ate carrot sticks and celery sticks. That's what's his favorite. But celery doesn't cause you to change colors, right?
No.
Carrots do.
yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
And so, did he give up eating carrots? Is that what happened?
No. So he ate less of it because remember, I think eating carrots raw is different than eating it cooked. So he started getting to more solid food, right? Like solid food meaning cooked food. Before he's eating still baby food and some of the soft stuff and all that. But when he was around 1 or 2, he started eating solid foods, and we gave him that's another story. But we started the kids on vegetables. They love their fruits and vegetables. Like they eat that more than meat if they want to. But so they start on carrot sticks, celery sticks, zucchini, cucumbers, peppers. They'll eat all that. But my son liked carrots, so he just goes, "Mommy, when he comes home, can I get carrots? Can I get carrots?" I go, "You want carrots again?" So he's eating like imagine a whole carrot for a little kid. He ate like 3 of those a day.
No.
He ate like one for lunch because we pack it in his little lunch bag when he went to grandma's. Then he'd eat another one when he got home from school or from grandma's after like 3 o'clock, and then he'd have another one like for a snack. So he'd eat like 3 carrots a day. So imagine us eating 3 carrots a day. We'd be orange too.
Yeah. Yeah. But the funny thing is, so my great grandma was never orange. Although she ate a lot of carrots, that was like, she swore by those carrots. She's like, you have to have your carrots. Like, I remember we had gone to visit her. She forced us to have our carrots. I mean, I like carrots, but it was just like, nope, you have to have all of them. You can't leave the carrots uneaten. You have to have all of them. Yes,
Yeah.
grandma. Yes, grandma. Okay.
Yeah, some grandmas give you cookies, some grandma gives you chips, your grandma gave you carrots.
Well, I mean, it helped. Like she was like 105, no glasses for until the last 4 years. So there is some benefit to that. And on that note, we are actually coming to an end. So do you guys have any last minute advice or anything that you would like to say? And if the audience has any questions, please let us know and we'll get to your questions.
I think just reiterate seeing your doctor, getting your physical done, and then getting your eyes checked regularly. It doesn't hurt. I mean, literally, it just takes 10 minutes to do, but it can mean the world to yourself, right? Because again, like what Fatima touched on, I definitely my eyesight is something that I don't want to lose. Like I can, if you know your senses, I can. If you say, "What do you want to give up?" Your eyesight is probably the last you want to give up. Like I'll give up my touch, my sense of touch before I get my sense of eyesight, right? So just go to your doctor and just get your eyes checked regularly and monitored so that something does happen, they can catch it early. And wear sunglasses.
Make sure you make sure you wash your hands all the time, whether it's protecting yourself from COVID or anything else, or touching your face. Those are so key things to watch out for. And make sure when you are actually rubbing your eyes, go to the sink before you touch anything. And remember, what you eat affects you long term, and it prevents you from oxidative damage, and that's what you want to prevent.
Excellent. And for myself, I will second John's thing and wear sunglasses even when it's cloudy because there is still an overcast and there are still UV rays that are coming through, as well as check out your doctor on a regular basis. Make sure if there is something unusual, you do check with your doctor to make sure that you are getting proper care and have the nutrition that you do need. Like get your carrots in. Make sure you get your carrots in. And on that note, hope you guys have had a wonderful day. Thank you for joining in. On Tuesday, we are going to be doing our conversation on what was our conversation again? I forgot our conversation.
Oh geez, forgot. We'll post it. We'll post it.
We're talking about happiness and we're talking about
right.
comfort foods, I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so on Tuesday, we are talking about comfort foods. So that's different ethnic comfort foods as well. And then on Thursday, we will be talking about what makes you happy. And stay tuned for our social media series where we haven't decided when we're going to air that one. But stay tuned for our next series. And we look forward to seeing you again. If you have any questions, comments, please put them in the comments below and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.